guys, it's me again. Today I'm actually in my garage because I have a TV here that was brought to me by a customer, and it's a Samsung. So we all know how much I love Samsung. Everybody knows how much I love Samsung, given the reputation in the recent years. But this TV has an issue where it doesn't want to turn on. So we're gonna have a look at it and see what the heck is going on with this TV. It is a fairly recent TV. It's from 2019 apparently. What's the manufacturing date? It says, I can't see it right away. September of 2019. So according to the sticker. Yeah, we're gonna have a look at it and we're gonna see what the heck is wrong with this Samsung, or as I like to call it, a scam song. So here's the Samsung in question. It's like I said, it's a fairly recent TV, so here is the model number and all that stuff. 65 watts, typical power, yeah, 65, yeah, September 2019, and this is a 55-inch TV. Yeah, so this is a relatively recent TV. Normally, you would actually see the power cord here, because that's what this cutout is for, basically. So I guess maybe on the bigger sets, or I don't know, whatever, the power supply and the main board are here, but what this tells me is I don't think there's going to be an actual power supply. It's going to be all on one board. So it's similar to the Hisense garbage design where they put the power supply and everything together on one board, and we know the Hisenses, those they have the backlight issues and the electrolytic issues, but we're going to see what could be going on here. But from first glance, what I can tell is I have it plugged in. And if you look under here, I don't know if you can see, it's going to be a bit difficult. Maybe if I come here and I'll zoom in. Normally where the standby light is, I don't even know if I got the right angle. Where's the, yeah, so that's this piece right here. So normally when the TV is plugged in, there should be a little red standby light here. And as you can see, there's nothing. So this is telling me there's maybe a power supply issue with this TV. I don't know, so we're gonna have to open this up and examine the power supply because I don't have a standby light under. So maybe we have a simple fix, hopefully. Probably not, but we're gonna open this thing up, and this is a relatively easy TV to open up. You just take the screws off the stands, and the other thing I appreciate is that the stands are here, because I hate working with TVs when the stands are not in place. So that's a bit of a pain, but yeah, thankfully they're here. So we're going to take the stands off, we're going to flip it down, and we're going to just basically pop it off because it's just clips that are holding this thing around. There's no actual screws, so easy for me. Let's get that done. So I opened up the TV and I cheated a bit. I already started poking around this guy and I think I found the problem. So I'll get my pointing stick, and so this is, like I said, whoops, there it goes on the floor. Grab that. So like I was saying before, and I was correct, this is just a single board design, so I'm not sure if this is something that Samsung is planning on doing now with their TVs, because I think it's the first one I've seen like this. Normally there's the power supply and the main board separated, but this design has the power supply and the main board all together. So I guess whatever, that's how they want to get it, or at least that's how they want to do it now, or whatever. But yeah, basically I was poking around, and it's unplugged, by the way, so it's okay, I can touch this now. The main fuse is blown. I'm not sure if I can show you how easy that is to test on camera, but if I put my two probes on it like this, yeah, here we go. So if I put my two probes on this, as you can see, it's open. So usually that's not a good sign when the main fuse blows. This is a 5-amp fuse here, this white cylinder or whatever you want to call this. And I think also the MOV, if this is what I don't remember what it's called, but this is also open, which is not good. This should be showing some sort of continuity, but again, this is very hard to do with one hand, but let's see if I can get it done. Maybe if I position my hand first, let me get it connected. Yeah, like that. Shoot. Yeah, no, that's me touching the probes by accident. Let's see if this is possible to show you on camera. Yeah, okay, so here you go. So now it's connected, open. So that's also not good. So when I saw that, I started to look around, and if you pay attention right here, you can see this lovely burn mark right here. So this, I'm almost certain, is the main whatever switching MOSFET. I think it's a switching MOSFET, I'm not sure, it looks like it. And it's shorted. So I tested these pins, they're shorted, and you can see the burn mark right here, over here, that's the burn mark. So I'm gonna have to take this board out, bring it to my room upstairs, and I have to see what, or at least why it burned out, because I'm not sure. Maybe these because this is a connector for the backlights right here. I don't think this would cause an issue. So I might have to put my backlight tester on that and see what do I get. So I don't know, it's the first time I see this, but at least it doesn't look like a backlight issue for now. But I'm gonna test the backlights, because maybe something with the backlights, I'm not sure just yet. But either way, this has to come out, because I have to fix it upstairs. I don't have my stuff here, so I have to bring it upstairs, take a look at it, and yeah, I'll see what I can do. So I just wanted to show you guys once again. Let me get my pointing stick. Where's it? Right here. If you look very closely, where is it? Right here. Yeah, you can see the damage that was done. So there's the burn mark. This, I guess, is the switching MOSFET. I have to open this up and see what the heck this guy's doing, because I don't have a schematic right now. But yeah, see, that's not good. So we're gonna have to figure out what might have gone wrong. But yeah, again, from what I can see for sure, the main fuse is blown, the MOV is open more than likely, and then this guy is open. He's shorted, not even open, just shorted. Yeah, so we're gonna have to figure out what the heck happened, if anything. And then there's a little cover here behind. I want to check if anything's shorted by accident. But it's the first time I'm seeing this design, so we're gonna poke around a bit with it and see what the heck can I find. So it's a new day, and I placed some orders on DigiKey, and I got some stuff today for that TV board. So basically, we're gonna replace the components that I had mentioned last time, with the addition of something else, actually. So, well, with the addition of something else, but I actually made a mistake, because I rechecked some of the stuff on the board. The MOV actually is not open. It's doing what it's supposed to be doing. That was just my... I got that wrong, so my apologies there. Because usually when those MOVs fail, whatever, if it's cracked and burned or whatever, then yeah, it will be open, you know. But otherwise, it's under normal circumstances, from what I understood, also just from my previous knowledge, it's normal that it reads open when you measure across it. So, anyways, so I'm not changing that, but yeah, we have the fuse. This is the 5 amp fuse with the leads on them. The two capacitors. Well, there's two capacitors, because I'm gonna change the other one. So the one that blew up and the one that didn't blow up yet, so I'm going to change both as a precaution. This is going to be our MOSFET that blew up. We're going to replace it also. This is a Infineon, I think. Yeah, Infineon. So that's a good complementary, or sorry, good replacement. And I'm going to be replacing two of those these power resistors, non-flammable or whatever resistors, because I saw on one of them it's actually cracked. It measures good, but it was cracked. So I'm gonna change the pair, whatever, just to be safe. So same spec, same everything, 2 watt, whatever. So we're gonna do that. So let me get the board. I'll get started, and I'll show you what I get as a result once everything is done. I just have to clean this table, because I was working on some other stuff here, and it's a bit dirty. So let me clean that out of the way. So let me get that going, and then I can show you after what I get as a result. So I did the repair just now, replaced all the components that need to be replaced, except for these two. I wanted to replace these two resistors here, not because they were open or anything, it's because this one's a bit cracked, but it's not cracked to the point where it's gonna compromise the functionality, so I'm gonna let it be. Because it turns out, because I had measured this one here, because I thought, of course, foolish of me, I thought that this one was the same as that one, because whatever, I don't know, I just thought it was like that. But of course, when I look closer and I look at the rings and the color code, this is not a standard color code, by the way, because I tried looking up this pattern here and I couldn't find anything. So really what it was, I had to pull it out, measure it, and roughly estimate what it would be. So this is a 2.2 ohm resistor as well as this one, but this one's not a 2.2, this is a 1 ohm resistor. So there's two of them in parallel. I think it's 1 or 1.2 ohm, something like that. Anyway, so I put that back, and also I didn't look at the schematic, or at least I tried actually finding a schematic and I couldn't find one for this particular model. So yeah, anyways, so that's back. Everything else has been changed minus the MOV also, because the MOV is good. So new fuse, this is a bus fuse, I believe. It says it here on the back, it says bus whatever. So it's a 5 amp slow blow whatever, rated for 250 volts AC. Although this set actually is not rated for 240 operation, this is only rated for 120 operation according to the sticker on the back of the television. So also here, new MOSFET that was changed, but new thermal compound, and then our two capacitors that I changed because this one was the one, yeah, this is the one that blew up. So I put new ones in, and I also changed it a bit slightly. The old ones were rated for, I think, a kilovolt. These are rated for 2 kilovolts. You probably can't see it. Actually, no, the rating's on the other side. Sorry, hang on. Yeah, there you go. So if you look very closely, there you go. So it's a 220 picofarad capacitor rated at 2 kilovolts. So the old ones were rated for 1. My feeling was, because I was wondering why this thing fell the way it did. It's possible there was a surge somewhere, I don't know, from the utility. I have no idea. So I was looking, I was testing everything, all the outputs and everything, and everything was okay. Nothing else was short, or nothing else was obscure. So I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna change the components and we should be good to go, because I don't see anything anywhere that would show otherwise that this will happen ever again. The recommendation that I will do, and this is what I tell all my customers, same with the Onkyo that I saw a little while ago, or this last week, whatever, surge protector. I always recommend having a surge protector. Even if you have one that covers the entire house and your breaker panel, or where your panel is, I don't care. I always recommend having an additional surge protector, like something like, not like this because it's not a surge protector, but a power bar with a surge protector plugged into the wall, even if the wall plug is surge protected. So because it doesn't hurt to have two of them. It's actually better, if anything, because if one fails and it doesn't catch for some reason, hopefully the second one that you have plugged in will catch the surge. So anyways, it's just to be safe. So I'm gonna make that recommendation, but otherwise I'm gonna go ahead, put this back in the television, slowly put that back together, and we're gonna test again and see what we get. I think this is gonna work, so let's go do that. So here's our TV. Mind you, sorry about the noise from the vacuum cleaner. I have someone using the vacuum cleaner upstairs right now, but as you can see, we go very close. I'm not sure if you'll be able to see now, but if I put my hand under here, maybe you will. There you go. You can see from the reflection of my hand. See that up here? Let me try to do this better. Let's see. It's hard to see, but now we have a standby light. So if I go ahead and press this to turn on, where's the button? It's a small button here. Yeah, there you go. Here you go. Now I pressed it. Voila! And we have a working TV. I just have so much stuff always around me here. Can never move in this garage. So there you have it. The TV is fixed. So yeah, I'm gonna put this all back together now properly, and I'm gonna tell the customer that it's ready to go, and hopefully it'll serve her for a very, 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 very long time. So I'm gonna leave it at that. If ever you like this video, please leave a thumbs up, and catch me on the next one, and leave a comment down, of course, below if you want to say anything. So until next time, take care, guys. See you then. Bye.